Hey y'all, Joefer here, the cranky old gay guy. Today we're going to take on the topic of the subject of a national press conference in regards to autism. That's right, autism. Many people are on the spectrum. Some people don't even know that they're autistic. Others are proud to be autistic. Well, prompted by RFK Jr., I think he's the head of the CDC. But he's or HHS, I don't remember. He's at the top and everyone has to answer to him regarding health, Food and Drug Administration, everything. Mr. Trump got up in front of the world. His national press conference went worldwide. And once again, he made a fool of himself and became a huge embarrassment to this country. I don't get it. It's incredibly... I have no words. It was horrible. He could not pronounce acetaminophen. He could say, the generic term, or he didn't even say generic. He said, also known as Tylenol. And then he went on a rant about Tylenol and how pregnant women should never take Tylenol. And how Tylenol is linked to autism. And all the studies that I have looked up online state that there is no conclusive proof that Tylenol causes autism. However, he ranted about it, and in his own words, what were his own words? He has so many. His message to women was, you have a high fever. Are you in pain? Well, maybe take just one, but then don't take any, or don't take any at all. It was confusing, his directions towards women. And then he was telling them that you just need to be tough and you need to hang in there and just tough it out. So you have a high fever when you're pregnant, which can cause birth defects in your child, or you could have the minuscule, almost 0% chance of having an autistic child because you take a Tylenol to lower your fever, or your child might be autistic regardless of whether you take Tylenol or not. No one knows the true reason for autism or what causes it. And autism isn't always a bad thing. It's bad if that's the way that you perceive it. Many super talented people, savants you might say, are on the spectrum. So yes, they do have autism, and many adults aren't even diagnosed with autism until they're in their 40s or 50s or later. And then they say, that kind of makes everything clear. I know several people who I feel are on the spectrum. Only one of them has actually openly stated that he's autistic. But judging by the way people act around other people and how they socialize and how they speak, and how their mind goes, or how their eyes roll up in the back of their head when they're thinking, I'm guessing they're on the spectrum. And I'm also guessing that their moms probably didn't take Tylenol when they were little. In my family, I didn't even know what Tylenol was until the Tylenol was pulled from the market, I think in the 70s, when someone had poisoned some and it had killed some people. And that's when they started putting foil labels on top of all the bottles to prevent anyone from tampering. But that's the first time I had ever heard about Tylenol. I know that we had acetaminophen and we had aspirin. And in most aspirin, acetaminophen is part of it. But without the actual aspirin, I find it doesn't really work on my headaches. So I don't remember taking any of that as a child either. As an adult, I took acetaminophen, aspirin, and caffeine altogether, which is also known as Excedrin PM, but this is a generic version. And per my brain thing earlier this summer, I'm not allowed to take those anymore, and the only thing I can take is acetaminophen because it's the only one that doesn't thin my blood. And per my condition, to be on the safe side, it was recommended that I stay away from anything that thins my blood. So, Donald Trump, I will be taking Tylenol. Why he uses that word? Because it's easy to say. He can't pronounce acetaminophen. That's what's going on there. And to all of you ladies out there, whether you're pregnant or not pregnant, and again, his recommendations, and he would say, and I feel it this way, and I'm the one saying this because this is how I feel. You shouldn't take Tylenol, and you need to hang in and be tough. And then he also stated that after you have a baby, you shouldn't take Tylenol. Well, which is it? Do you have Tylenol making your baby autistic, or does your baby turn autistic after they're born and you take Tylenol? It's really confusing and makes no sense at all. And Tylenol definitely has a defamation case that they could file against him and against RFK. Now, to go a little bit deeper, let's talk about the real reason this all came about. And it has to do, in my opinion, it has to do with things underlying in the background. And it has to do with Dr. Oz. Dr. Oz, it's my understanding, again, from reading articles online, that he is a part owner of a pharmaceutical company or like a vitamin company. And they have a product that is supposed to help prevent autism. And it's something to do with folic acid, because studies show that if there's a folic acid deficiency in autistic babies, it's, again, not proven at all. But this gives his company the opportunity to come forward and start promoting their product, which would make him a lot of money. Because if you put fear in the hearts of pregnant women and they want to prevent this horrible thing, which I don't think is horrible. Again, it's on the spectrum. You've got the really autistic and you've got the barely autistic and you've got the people in the middle. I personally feel I'm probably autistic and I just don't know it. Why? Because I've been socially awkward a good part of my life, and I'm socially awkward right now. I mean, just look at me. Look how I talk, look how I stand, look how I move my head when I talk. I use my hands, the way I walk. You could put me on the spectrum as well. And I wasn't raised on Tylenol. Who's to say? So that's what's really going on. Someone just wanted some more attention to take things and take the focus off the Epstein files that he is still refusing to release. Because he knows his name is in them, and it's been shown on different things that have come up in court and things that were released to Congress from the Jeffrey Epstein estate, that Trump is all over them. And the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, continually puts up roadblocks to keep this from being released. Right now, he is refusing to swear in a congressperson, I think from Arizona, who has stated openly that once she's sworn in, she will sign on to the docket or the bill or the measure or whatever it is that they're putting forward to get the files released. They only need one more vote, and she would be the vote. So Mike Johnson instead has stated that, well, we have to really investigate how she got elected and, look at all the votes that put her in place and everything like that. And again, it's just another delay tactic. So if you want to take Tylenol or acetaminophen, I think you should go ahead and do it. That's just my personal opinion. Just like the president saying, this is how I feel. Well, the way I feel is that you should listen to your doctor, and you shouldn't listen to a non-medical professional who's not really professional in any sense of the word, who gets up in front of the world and makes a buffoon of himself and of this country. There, that's it. Did it make me cranky? It made me cranky to the extent that I know that there are a lot of people who believe everything that he says, and now they're going to put their newborns in jeopardy by going through the high fevers if they get them while they're pregnant, and that could harm the baby once it's, it'll harm the baby that's currently growing inside of them. I'm going to say, stay cranky, my friends. Stay cranky. Bye-bye.